Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I may have messed up the scheduling of, this particular video, women, culture, government, and old videos of some women looking for relationships with men and going to critique that a little bit. Uh, but of course, we've got to give it this context, this deeper, more meaningful context, an overview, of the situation, as it were. So that's what I'm going to talk about for a little while, maybe, 5, 10 minutes, right? Because we're talking about, women, culture, government, and MGTOW. So, there's no reason to go too deeply into that, maybe a little. Sorry about that. Still working on, audio and syncing things up. Uh, Let me know if my audio is okay here, because I try all kinds of little tricks on the whole thing, right? Um, Now I'm just kinda going a little bit of time hoping, some more people show up here. But, an important question regarding the women, the attitude, industry, marketing, and population replacement rates, um, is who's downstream from who? In other words, is government determining our culture, and then the culture is informing the women, and then the women are behaving as they behave and influencing the potential relationships and population replacement rates? Or do women and just their wants and desires and the government's want and desire to keep them happy dictate the form that our culture takes? And this, we just say culture, but it's no small deal. This means our ethical behavior, our laws, our government, our politics, our art, our literature. All of these things are determined, who what's determining what? Is the government determining the culture, or is the culture determining the government? Is the culture determining the psychology and emotions of the people, or is the psychology and the emotions of the people influencing culture and then influencing government? Because, we're looking at a situation where the tail really is wagging the dog. Okay. And it's so bad that the human population on the planet Earth is dwindling. I was thinking about population replacement rates. Uh, I wasn't just reading Google, I promise. And it occurred to me that the women not only have to replace themselves, but they have to replace all the men as well, right? Therefore, population replacement rate has to be 2.1. Every woman has to have at least two children, or, uh, you know, that's it. Your population dwindles. Your population gets older and older, and this is a big deal, okay? Because the young people are paying for, the older people in your social security and your government, programs, situation. And well, there's even more to it than that, which, we'll get to. Now, the current population replacement rate on average, like in the United States, is 1.6. And that's just not going to get it done. And it has dropped precipitously, right? I just wanted to use that word, since about the 70s. So it's just come crashing down, right? So culture, right? Birth control pill, women coming into the workforce, feminism, postmodernism, we're all equal. Culture influencing individual choices to a degree that we're losing our population. Now, the world average population replacement rate is about is about 2.3. Okay. So the world is doing okay. But the advanced Western technological societies, which are run by not the people, but by the government, and the government, and this is also large moneyed interests, are they're setting the tone, they're setting the culture, okay? But now they're losing their population, they're losing their customers, and the governments are paying people to have babies. South Korea is giving people over $10,000 per baby, okay? And it's not going to help. So isn't this interesting? Isn't this an interesting phenomenon? The better the women have it, the better their lifestyle, the less inclined they are to have children. We're talking about spoiled children is what we're talking. We're talking about entitled, spoiled, women is what we're talking about. And it's a part of our culture. It's a part of what we are. And we accept it. We don't even, like, how can a 20-year-old guy say to himself, well, things used to be a lot better 30 years ago? He can't. He has no frame of reference. And he is driven by his biological urges. He's not thinking about what he's doing. He's not planning out his future. He's not going to the bank and setting up, the program and saying, this is why I want the loans. He's not doing any of that. He's just like, she's hot. That's it. And then he's, making his move. So look at the control and the power that government, culture, women have over the men. Look at the effect that it's having on Western civilization. Population replacement rate, birth rate, we don't stand a chance. The men don't want to have children with the women. Therefore, your only avenue of keeping your country alive over the next 20 years is immigration replacement rate. So Italy, right, who's, going downhill fast, maybe not fast as South Korea, but pretty fast, they're not going to make it. What can we do, right? Do I have to be worried about world population replacement rate? No, I don't. But what went wrong? How do you take, a population of people that are reproducing and treat them in such a way that they stop having children? It's interesting, isn't it? I used to raise fish, discus, actually, beautiful South American, soft water, freshwater fish. And if you'll get everything just right for them, if you'll get the conditions right, the water temperature, the water softness, the pH, the temperatures, and if you feed them right, like you're giving them like live worms and stuff like that, they will reproduce. Yeah, they've got some real interesting reproductive techniques going on there and parenting techniques. But if the conditions are off, they won't reproduce. So obviously, the conditions for man are off. Okay, we're not reproducing. And the governments are now becoming aware of the fact that they're losing their future customers. They're losing their tax base. Okay, so whatever it is they were doing to increase their profits and power and control, it's now blowing up in their face because they're losing, there's not enough people, okay, to sell their Nikes to sell their iPhones to. I don't know what that was. Monk Music. Monk Music is an old friend of mine. Don't engage. MGTOW is a wonderful situation, right? Because we men get to, interact and share knowledge and discuss worldwide. The government, the culture, the women, they don't want this. They shut it down. Okay. If you can effectively speak on these issues, you're running into some trouble. You really are. If you're willing to stay in a very narrow niche of it, you can avoid most of the trouble. If you can keep it on a surface cultural popularity, likes and dislikes level, you're actually controlled opposition. Not only are you not a problem, but you're actually helping the reverse of the cause that you're speaking to. this is why you bring your mainstream news. They'll bring somebody on for an interview, but they'll limit the questions, and they know that the person isn't really qualified to speak on these particular issues. So the person is up there as a straw man. It's not up there to give the other side of the opinion and then have a debate about the issue. No, this person is chosen because they are unfit to speak on this issue. And anything they say will actually drive people away from the issue. So controlled opposition, you want plenty of it. You're willing to incorporate it. It looks good. We're discussing two sides of the issue, but we're not. We're presenting one side of the issue in a favorable light, and we're presenting the other side of the issue in this, just ridiculous, shameful light. And so the million people watching, right? Let's see, I got 18 people watching. Thank you guys for stopping by. I do appreciate it because I haven't been doing the content lately. But I have been dwelling on these issues. Now, I, of course, have lost my original point. That's how easy it is, right? That's how distracted we are. Welcome to a consumer society. Welcome to a meeting of people whose attention span has been reduced down to about 5 seconds, right? It's like a goldfish swimming around in a bowl, and it sees, the giant castle in the bowl, and it's like, holy shit, a sand castle. And then he swims around the bowl again, and he's like, holy shit, a sand castle. So he's never even remembering, where he is, what he's focused on. And this is a byproduct of your consumer society. This is a byproduct of your instant gratification. This is a byproduct of this incredible global market and this competition for our attention. So we've been reduced to consumers, and men don't have relationships with women anymore. There's nothing like that. This is the man might get to have some sex. That's all that's going on here. And, there's a refrain, a basic fantasy that I think most men have, which is, man, we should just go back to the caveman days, right? If we could just go back to the caveman days, the strong woman could see the attractive woman and we could just go fight for her and, drag her back to the cave. Good times. And this is how everybody imagines it, as the man that I am, would really dominate in this situation. But the truth is that in that situation, the children don't make it into adulthood because the father, the protector, the provider, is not around to protect and provide and to pass on the knowledge, right? It's just this physical transaction. That's all it is. So it didn't work then either. Okay, only the men who hung around with the women and helped raise the children did those children survive. And now we're a million miles away from it, right? So there's a lot going on. I'm still trying to figure out how to get my audio and everything all set up here. Dark Solidarity is here. Thanks for stopping by, bro. The Freak is here. Jay is here. What's going on, everybody? Hello from Denmark. Yeah, and the European situation is even worse than the American situation. Um, yeah, same with Canada. I think the whole MGTOW movement may have started in Canada, in Toronto, because the women were frigid and cold. So now the women, they don't want the relationships with the men. They don't need the men for protecting, for providing, for raising the children. And the children are, of course, raised as slaves of the state, slaves to culture, slaves to female expectation. And if you're wondering why do the governments, why do culture appeal to the women and the children, it's because fear is a much better mechanism for control. And this goes back to Plato's Republic, 400 BC. You want to know how to control a free state? Appeal to the fears and the weaknesses of the women and the children. Because if you can get them, the men will follow. And this works in marketing as well. Okay. So you've got a new musical act and they're going out to perform and nobody likes them and nobody likes their sound or anything like that. But they'll come to the local women and they'll say, here's free tickets. All you got to do is show up and scream and pretend that you love this stuff. Okay. And they do. One sec. And they do. And even though the men don't like the music or they don't like the movie or they don't like the TV show, the women do, and they're watching it. And so the men watch along. And this is one of the ways that you promote, musical acts. So the women, the governments are appealing to the women. And then the women and the governments are determining the culture. And the men, recognizing this, are going their own way. And rightly so. Because who wants to raise a slave? Who wants to, have a child come into this world and then his mind gets reduced down to, this wimpish, begging, blue pill, simpish creature, just so that the woman will be nice to him, right? That's what we're doing. So I'm not going to bring a kid into the world and have that happen to him. It really is, Abraham handing his child over, to the greater God of culture and society. And the men are suffering. The population is suffering. Let's watch some videos. Dark Solidarity says, let's go to Serbia, Howard. Hey, not bad. The what we would call first world, countries, they're falling apart. No replacement, population rate going on there. Check this out. Here, what's this though? Jay says, dude went to jail 6 months in England for staring at a woman on a train. Yeah, exactly, right? We knew this was coming too. The way you look at a woman. Yeah. Let's watch a couple videos. Okay, here I got one for you of a woman on TikTok. Where is she? Well, here, let's go here. This is the one. No, this is the screen. Okay, so here we are over at TikTok, and this is where the women post, right? Because popularity, and let's just see what some of them have to say, and let's comment on it. Where is I had one in particular that I was looking at that I want to share with you guys. Where's my girl? Well, it doesn't matter. We can just pick any one of them, right? So here, let's try this one. My name is Nina, and I'm searching for. And here
Hi,
she,
my
here
name
she.
is Lindsay, and I'm searching for love. I'm recently single, I think, and I'm looking for someone who I can spend the rest of my life with.
Wait a minute. She said her name was not Nina. Okay, this is a bad sign, ladies and gentlemen. Like when you walk up to a girl, that her name is Jennifer, and she says, my name is Lakeisha. That's a bad sign. That means that she has a professional name, right? Her name was McGill, and she called herself Lil, but everyone knew her as Nancy. It's a hooker name. Okay, that's what's going on. Let's see what else she has to say.
Or at least the rest of my probation with. A little bit of Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I'm searching for love.
Her name is not Lindsay. This is a bad sign, right? For all we know, she's going to reveal at the end that she's not even actually biologically a woman, you know? Yeah. I've had some experience with some people who are transitioning, men who are transitioning to female, and they walk around and they chat it up, like it's a woman, like they're a woman. But then if they get pissed off, oh fuck no, man, all bets are off. It's like shut the fuck up. You don't get to talk to me like that unless you want to go out in the back. And it's like, holy, what the hell happened, right? I was willing to give you that whole you're a female thing, and I'm going to interact with you and be real careful. And now, you're threatening to, let's step outside and settle this. Okay. So, right, not a good sign.
I'm recently single, I think.
She doesn't know if she's single or not. What is that? What is that? Uh, what's going on there, right? This is like a horse race. This isn't This isn't the state of her relationships. This is, she's playing the field and she's not exactly sure where the pieces are at any given moment, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to contact this girl and enter into a relationship with her, and then she's going to say, "Oh yeah, I made a mistake. I'm actually still married." She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Uh, and I'm looking for someone I can spend the rest of my, no doubt, life with, right? But of course, it could be something more along the lines of, and I'm looking for someone who I can spend all their money and they'll jump through hoops to make me happy. What have we done? What have we created? Right? Oh my gosh. We've created these monsters, my friend. We have. By giving women everything that they wanted, and just blowing up their sense of entitlement, we've turned them into spoiled, entitled monsters who won't even have children, who won't look after their children, who want to transition into becoming men. And if you piss them off, they're going to be inviting you outside. And I've got a surprise for you. You can't win that fight. Physically, yeah, you'd be dominant, but no, you're going to jail. All right. What else is going on here? Senator Armstrong, the fat nutter, says this is the absolute state of whoredom. I thought he was going to say hedonism, right? That too. Hoardinism. It is. It is. We have culturally sanctified women behaving as whores. I'm sorry. They're not looking for relationships. They're not looking for a partner. They're looking for somebody to flatter their ego. And I'll tell you something. When you've got somebody who really has no accomplishment under their belt, the only way for them to feel accomplished is to tear other people down. They can't build themselves up. This is why some people are very toxic, okay? Uh, they've got nothing. They've got no substance back there. So everything and anytime they see substance, they have to tear it down. This is the the root of anything a man can do, a woman can do better. I was like, what a silly thing to say. That would you say anything one person can do, another person can do better? No, you would not say that. So why would you say that anything a man can do, a woman can do better? And the answer is because she can't do anything. And all she can do is detract from those who can do. And part of this is biological, right? It is the role in the sexually dimorphic species of the childbearing one. They can't do as much. They're taking on that burden. And she has to produce 2.1 children to give us population replacements. They're not doing it. They don't care to do it. And the men, as much as they want physical intimacy, they know that it's a rigged game and they're not going to play it. Looking for more single women. Okay. Okay, female proposal for Norway. Contact me. Holy shit, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh boy, that's crazy. You know, why? Why with the music? Why? Let me see if I can turn that down. All right, just hold your ears a little bit. Were you only imaginary? Where are you now? Were you all right, check that stuff out, right? She doesn't even bother to talk. Why bother? She's got nothing to say. She's playing popular music in the background and, you know, showing pretty images of herself. That's it, right? So you meet up with her and, you know, she's pretty. And she opens up her mouth and all she can talk about is music, the songs that she likes. So you do your thing, you know, you get together physically with the person. And it's not as great as you had imagined, but it's not bad. You know, it's new, it's novelty, it flatters your ego. Uh, but how long does it last? You know, lasts 10, 15 minutes. And now you're flipping through Netflix. And there's nothing to say. There's nothing to do. God forbid she does become pregnant, right? Because she can't raise the child. She can't take care of the child. All she wants to do is listen to music. So what kind of position do you think you're going to be in, you know, as the man in that relationship? Do you ever see the men walking around carrying the baby, pushing the baby in the baby cart with all the food and products that the family has bought, and the woman, the mother, walking, 10 paces ahead of the man while on the phone chatting with her friends? And, it's a decent looking guy. It's a guy, could easily be a 7 or an 8. And the woman is, no matter how much makeup she wears or anything, she's still just a 4 or a 5. And this guy's following after her because, he won't abandon the children. He won't abandon his moral and ethical commitment to the situation. But she doesn't give a damn about any of that. Just walk through the, supermarket. You'll see many of these guys, young men with young children and women that are just really not, at the same level. Still looking for more videos. Want to try to find one where the woman actually speaks, Here, let's try this one. Well, let me make sure that this is all working. Okay. Everything moving along? Everything's moving along. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I appreciate it. Senator says, Howard, can I join you for a Discord call live? Yeah, I do want to set this stuff up where I just kind of hang out and talk with you guys, more like on a one-on-one situation. But given what I do, the government, truly, the government shuts me down, and so does the culture. So yeah, someday I really do hope I get my freedom back and I get to tell you the story of what's going on. But it has to do with, the idea, what I was talking about earlier, that if you can effectively speak on these subjects and get your audio proper, you threat to the world around because we're trying to change the perspective of the men such that we can get control back of this situation. But definitely, yeah, I can set up some private chats with people and I would be glad to do it because I feel that I could be a little bit more effective at it. You know, there I was 5 years ago just making daily content, talking on all these subjects. And then, basically the state arrested me. And now I have nothing going on. Um, not allowed to work, or I don't have freedom or anything like that. And I'm going through legal situations that could end my life, basically, or end my freedom. And I've changed the things that I talk about. I'm much more interested in helping the men get back in touch with, their spirit, their motivation, the things that drive them, their dreams, their goals, and then empowering that situation for the man to build himself a good life. Now, if a woman comes into this kind of situation and the man wants to make a choice, he is free to do so, But if the man is broken, begging for a job, afraid to offend anybody, uh, if his hopes and his dreams are little more than what the culture, says is a high value man, right? This is my problem with Andrew Tate. I got no problem with an ambitious, outspoken, strong man, giving his views. I have no problem with that. I respect that. I admire that. But then the idea of, oh, and your ultimate goal is to make yourself this high value man for these women, and I can understand that too, right? You're going to feel good about it. I think we all want affection. I think we all want admiration. I think we all want love, or that's what we equate with love. So it's not like, I don't need any of that. Yeah, we do kind of need the ability to contribute, the ability to get back from the world what we need in order to feel good about our lives. Now, we all have a different language of love. So, for example, one person might want verbal compliments. They might want feedback that says, hey, I appreciate you. You're a good man. We have a good family. You are important to me. I will sacrifice. I will give in order to, make you happy. And, these are acts of service. Let me make you a sandwich. How are you feeling? Okay. This is that person's language of love. Now, another person, they might not need to hear a single word. Okay. But they want that sandwich made. It matters. Another person's language of love might be the ability to contribute. Okay. Here I am making a video. I've got 34 people watching, 24. What the hell? I got to go back to videos. And, this motivates me. Wow. She says, I'm single. First of all, she doesn't say anything. Okay. She doesn't even have to talk. All she has to do is let the men see her image and then play the music. God forbid this should be one of your favorite songs, because now you're screwed. She says, I'm single, love written, age 25, looking for a partner. I will send the visa, but be a serious person. Okay. I wonder if she'll pay for the trip. I wonder if she'll pay for the airline ticket. I wonder if she'll pay for the return trip if either the man or she does not, find it acceptable. Uh, is this a relationship? This is an employer, is what this is. This is a job application, is what this is. There's no language of love coming back to the man. Right? Amazing. I can't even find one where the women bother to talk. Let's keep looking, right? All right, let's see what this woman has to say. Was working all the way at the top, all the way. Oh, she's got nothing to say. She's got a song to play in the background. And then she's going to make eyes at the camera. She says, I divorced with my husband and I'm now alone, but I'm not giving up. I'm 35 years old, in search of new friends and communication. Get blah, blah, blah messages. Okay, well, does she have nice skin? Or is that all makeup? That's all makeup. Okay, we don't know what her skin looks like. Is she a blonde? No, she's not a blonde. She's dyed her hair blonde. Is she healthy? We don't know because the face doesn't indicate, the state of the body. Now, if she's not physically healthy, and we don't know that she is just based on her image with the makeup, what are the odds that she's going to be emotionally healthy, right? Healthy body, healthy mind. So, we're looking at these beautiful images of these women that don't speak. They better not speak. And then we're making these judgments about fertility and health and viability. And this is what the men find attractive. Health, viability, fertility. She doesn't have to be the prettiest. She doesn't have to have perfect features. But if she has these other qualities, we can also be pretty, assured that she's got some emotional stability. Physical attraction doesn't last long. The initial stages of what's going on here is a physical attraction. And this is actually a genetic marker for, hey, I think I'm compatible with this person. Then we get together, we spend time together, and attraction turns into attachment. Certainly for the man, less so for the female. And that attachment is then the basis of the relationship, okay? Because the man is still going to be attracted to other women, physically, genetically, biologically. But if there's no attachment, there's no commitment to the idea of taking care of the children, watching the finances, being the partner that evolution has designed us to be. See, none of this stuff is happening out of context, okay? There's a reason why men feel what they feel, why women feel what they feel, why our biology works the way it works, why our hormones work the way they work. These systems developed inside of an environment with the intention of being able to overcome and surpass the environment, okay? So now you change the environment. Now there's no more danger, okay? Now the woman has the government to take care of her. So these biological developments that we have that are designed to keep us alive in our environment, they're now useless. They're excess baggage. It's an evolutionary dead end. So what? Are men with high testosterone now an evolutionary dead end? Well, if the government and the women and the culture dictates it, yes, they are. And yet, without it, you don't even have health. You don't have confidence. So, government, culture, women, altering biology, evolution.
Shouted, what is your name? Who was working all the way at the top, all the way at the top? Shouted.
Not a word out of it. Not a word. Okay, here's single, single and ready to mingle. Okay, you gotta like the fact that you got a rhyme in there. Okay, just looking at the camera directly. This is a good sign. Let's see what she has to say.
This is a picture of me when I was single.
Wow, what a voice, huh? You gotta like that. That'll put you in the mood, won't it? She's not even willing to use her voice. No, it's not a picture, it's a video. Okay. A small little detail there, but
What are you waiting for? There is no next. I'm still single.
This is a picture of
Come and move that in my direction. So thankful for that, it's such a blessing. Passion, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you are. Come and move that in my direction.
I'm single and looking for something casual, but only if you're willing to die for me. I'm single and looking for something casual, but only if you're willing to die for me. I'm single and